job of, speaking
There's no
native
word
language.
for screw you. There's no word for screw you. I looked it up. Otherwise, I would have said it.
Yep. So you all hear Mahi say "screw you," but in Draconic, so you all only understand the words, and you assume that he meant this is what this means. But based on any insight checks, you don't know if Mahi's telling you the correct
Why would he not?
meaning.
I trust Mahi with my life. No insight check required.
Trust Maki with like an item that I don't care much about.
It's fair.
You all assume that the words you heard imply what they say.
So, there's not really a word for screw you, but you could just say screw you, worm, and Draconic. Just say worm and Draconic, I suppose. But then
why don't you just say screw you?
Or what he said.
It's easier to just say screw you.
Do it, Pipe.
Okay. What was the word again for worm?
Snog says screw you.
Never mind. I'm just gonna say that I say it in Draconic.
Alright, I'll say that you repeat the word that Mahi.
No, so I'm going to yell, not just worm, but I'm going to call out the name. So I'm going to call Cryovane. Worm.
Okay.
Cryo worm.
So I'm going. So yeah. So yeah. Full volume and then thaumaturgy to make my voice 3 times louder. And just look towards the mountains and go, Cryovane! You worm!
Screw
Screw you.
The rest of you hear this. It echoes throughout the valley. It's pretty. It echoes for a solid minutes.
Nice.
He actually kind of shudders when you say that.
Yeah, and you can kind of see that Snog is very uncomfortable with it. What you just did. Everyone's looking up at the skies.
Yes.
All right.
And my eyes are squinting at the skies right now.
You can roll perceptions, or someone roll with advantage.
Person with advantage. Person with best perception. Roll with advantage.
I mean, I rolled a natural 20, so...
Yeah, you can have it.
That works.
So...
It's pretty clear skies. You all wait a few moments, and there doesn't seem to be any response. Nothing echoes back. It's not like the Grinch.
What if the dragon is with the drow? Guys, did you ever think about that?
I feel like that would be very noticeable.
You're an idiot!
Like, but now, while we were in the cave,
I'm an idiot.
she brought the dragon.
Very well done, though. It was a great echo.
An avalanche comes down and kills us all. No, I'm just kidding.
But just for clarification, yeah, we are talking like 30 miles.
Yeah.
And 2,200 elevation.
Look,
so.
I wasn't necessarily expecting it to work.
We were just trying it, just in case.
And maybe he might have been on his way to grocery shopping or something, you could have caught him.
Maybe he was flying over, like, his territory, just scoping out everything on one of his patrols and just happened to hear. You never know.
So, are we heading to
Python just shrugs.
And trust me, I was rolling for this, so this is the one time where the rolls were in your favor, or not. I guess it depends. You guys want the dragon?
Not particularly.
Last time you didn't like it, so.
Not particularly. We figured we'd give it a shot and be like, oh, we tried.
Oh, tried. Guess I gotta do something else.
We tried, but we didn't really want it to work. Like, yay, we did it, and it didn't work. Yeah, oh man.
So after a few minutes, everyone kind of it's deathly silent, waiting for it. And a few minutes pass, nothing. Everyone's searching the skies, squinting. At this point, it's about midday. So the day's starting to get away from you a little bit. And Snog kind of finally breaks the silence and goes, "Well, I guess no one's home."
Mahi just kind of like wipes a little bead of sweat. I suppose not.
I'm
Mahi
still
just
laying
kinda-
on the ground. Now what?
Zug zug.
I guess we go wait for the drow.
Where?
I look
So
at my
what?
then.
I suppose so. Here.
You could put the silver thread across the entrance to the cave. Set it to where the orcs don't trip it. Wait on the other side. We're not noticeable.
You gonna go back to the orc cave and do that from the front door?
We're not that far from it.
No, you guys aren't far.
I feel like that might be a bad idea. I feel like they're
Well-
not gonna like.
Kind of walk down the hill. I mean, I guess you can go back and do that. I don't know.
They're not gonna
appreciate
ask us what we're doing. They're just gonna stab us.
I mean,
We
you
won't
can
have a
just tell
dragon
them we
head
decided to
to
camp.
show for it.
It's only been a day. They say we're
Yep.
making
It hasn't
plans,
even
preparing.
been 8 days since you left the cave.
Yeah,
Midday, but I
it's
mean,
been like
only
an
been-
hour.
It's not even. It's been
It's
like
literally been like 10
it's
minutes.
literally been like 10 minutes. You walk down the hill. You're not even anywhere
He said-
close to the
He
mountain.
said, "Screw this.
You're
We're
just
coming
walking in the
back."
direction
Okay,
of the mountain.
but the thing is, do we want to wait for her to get all the way to the orc cave and into the orc cave before we find her?
All I'm saying is, that's the only place that we know that she'll be. Last time we tried to
I
set
mean,
up a
I
trap
guess-
for her, she appeared to have gone around, or not have come this way at all.
Mahi just kind of subtly, just kind of slowly, kind of points towards Archer's
Or a
bow.
squirrel tripped it.
That's probably what happened.
Squirrel.
Look, I guess we could just try a successful ambush. Lose my voice.
With a less hard voice.
I should have, honestly. I should have just stuck with the British version of Mahi. Should have just kept him British.
Nah, I like Soldier 76 Mahi.
So, we just...
I'm not going by myself because I'll die.
I have no intention
I can
of sending
walk.
you on your own. They probably have a new scout by now, too. It's... You already tried
Apologies if
covering
you
the
hear any
road
rain.
nearby.
That's right outside my window.
I did briefly
Let's see.
hear it, I was wondering.
If you guys are walking back towards the cave as you kind of all gather back and start making your way that direction, as the cave comes into view, you do see 2 new figures that are standing post at the cave mouth.
I'm sure they appreciated the screaming in Draconic.
I'm sure they did.
They probably heard it.
Like, what the hell?
Because
Just
you're,
like-
you're not even a mile. You're only about like 5 yards.
I
Like,
can
what
still like see the top of Tabit's head from the entrance.
Yeah, basically.
Mm-hmm. So you walk back in that direction. What would you all like to do?
Guess it was... I don't know. So,
Snog
are we
is
just
kinda
gonna
trailing
maybe...
behind? By the way, he's in the back and he's kind of like looking around, like, and keeps looking back towards the mountains and looking at you guys. He's confused.
Look, I say, for now, let's make camp. Let's get a plan. Let's just try to figure out something. I pray that drow lady will come before anything happens.
Like
What?
what?
Well, for instance, the dragon. Or if the orc decides that he doesn't really like our deal anymore. He says in front of Snog.
Let me check my spells real quick, because I think I might have... Ooh.
Snog's kind of kicking the ground and he kind of keeps looking at the cave mouth and like,
Ivan opens up a book, starts looking through the pages.
wondering.
Don't worry, Snog. We're not going to take you back, and you will be able to go home eventually.
Well, it's not that. It's I don't know if I'm supposed to be reporting that you guys are. I don't know. Are you scared and not dragon slaying?
Hey,
We're not scared. We're trying to figure out the order to do things in. We have a very large to-do list that just keeps growing, and I don't think we've ever actually accomplished anything on our to-do list.
Snog, just so you know, I didn't want to come back this way. I wanted to go after the dragon. Just saying.
Well, don't get me wrong. I kind of don't want to go after the dragon. I just know that I can't go back home. So it's kind of, I'm in a confusing place. I would like to smash something though.
Same here.
And he kind of pats his axe.
Cool. Alright. Pyth is essentially kind of looking through, like, her journal. And then finally is like, if we rest for long enough, I can prepare a spell to predict the future, depending on what course of action we take.
Why haven't you been doing the
Superpower, all of a sudden, when did you get this?
It's a 2nd level spell. It's augury. I don't know how to say it, sorry.
Forgery?
No. But essentially, like, it won't tell us what will happen exactly, but if I cast this spell and I'm like, so what will happen if we do this, then it will tell, like, essentially, the gods, what a DM, will tell me...
Oh no, she did it.
Wheel and woe.
Yeah.
Maya just kind of lifts a brow, shakes his head.
It will be expensive, though.
What?
like how expensive?
What do you mean?
25 gold pieces?
I tossed 25 gold pieces.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That works.
All
You
right.
also have to get the items itself, too.
In theory. I don't know how that works.
Unless you have some items that, I mean, some kind of a token. So, actually, you guys might have some. You pick random crap off the ground, so it's possible. It's possible you guys have some kind of voodoo doctor crap tokens.
I mean, I got my amulet.
Wait.
Any type of magical sticks, bones.
Hold it. We have...
cards.
Splinters.
No. Guys. We have that iron pendant of Orcus.
Oh my god. You're gonna be
Oh my
appealing
God.
to the wrong deity, I think.
Oh my god.
Be careful who you pray to.
Hold it. I have an amulet. I think this god will be a little more helpful than...
It will be consumed by the spell.
Never mind.
No, actually, I don't know that it will be. No, it isn't. It doesn't say it's consumed.
Yeah, doesn't say it's consumed. You're right.
Okay, so if I give her my holy symbol,
They just have to
I'm not
be
gonna
worth
lose
that amount.
I'm not gonna lose my source of power if I give her my amulet. Correct? Get to keep power. I
mean,
don't
in that
lose
case-
amulet.
I also have my amulet, so there's that.
You're gonna be invoking some stuff.
This
I
is
believe,
fine.
if I'm not mistaken, I believe your amulets are about 50 gold in of itself.
I don't have no idea.
Look, I'll check.
It's-
No, it's an
it says
amulet's 5 gold
5.
pieces.
5 gold, okay, yeah. Alrighty. Yeah, if you get enough stuff that you can get about 25 gold worth of odds and ends that
What else do you need?
your cleric might bless for this occasion.
I have a censer. So what if we did like a censer and some like incense?
Snoggler raises his hand.
Stog, this concerns magic.
Hey,
if you guys need something, I have a finger.
I'll take that.
And so he gives you the finger, but not the one that you were asking for.
I'm gonna pull out my sword and I'm gonna point it at him.
I high five Snog again.
The twice human.
Do you want me to take another one?
No, he does not.
Then put
Archer.
that finger back.
He kind of lowers it a little bit.
All the way.
He rolls a 19 on his sleight of hand, and does it again when your back turns.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's okay.
I've got a bag of marbles.
Oh.
I'm not trying to be funny, Python, but if you're gonna pray to a god, I'd prefer you not to pray to the one that I'm assuming you're gonna pray to.
Oh, you mean the one that I? You mean the one that I get all of my powers from? That one?
She prays to every day? That one?
I have
See,
malachite.
get them. Hey, I actually think I do too. Let me see.
I have
Actually,
a stick. I have a stick of 1,000 splinters.
I have a carnelian.
Bag of marbles.
Honestly, the stick of 1,000 splinters. So it says.
I have a
It says
black.
specially marked sticks, bones, or similar tokens worth at least 25 gold pieces.
He hands you the carnelian that we got a while back.
I've got a
Well-
precious stone. The eye patch, precious stone, it's worth 50 gold.
I totally added his severed finger to Snog's inventory, by the way.
Oh my god.
We're all just like digging through our bags trying to find something that might work for this spell.
I give Pyth the malachite.
I have the eye patch.
I have a bag of regents. It's got mercury, nightshade, and dragon vial. Does that help at all?
I need DM input on this because I have no clue.
I got marbles, DM.
I've got something that's worth 50 gold.
So basically, this would be more of a token aspect. So, like I said, I'll accept any
Got a
kind of
carnelian.
rocks, magical items, bones.
I have the precious stone from the eye patch.
Didn't anyone else gather some of the interesting relics from the death house?
I don't think we touched
any of us
much.
actually grabbed anything else.
I have a
We smashed
glove.
it all,
I have a glove from Vigo to hold the stick
The
of many
stick,
splinters.
which
With
I
that
have.
splinter.
I have a carnelian and I have a stick.
I have a
also-
malachite, and that's everything. That's all.
Yeah, and I do have a malachite also.
Give me all your
We
rocks
also-
and sticks.
I gave you my
Do you want
malachite already.
marbles? Do you want marbles at all?
Sure.
I mean, the
marbles.
carnelian.
The marbles they're not really worth much, but they can be used for the token part of it. Yeah. In combination with other things that are worth 25 gold.
So
We for sure have enough to be worth 25 gold. We're all sitting there like in the dirt, like piling all this stuff into the middle.
I'll say between that, especially since none of these items are consumed, so you can all probably take your respected stuff back, that you have enough odds and ends, and with Pythavin's knowledge, go ahead and roll Pythavin for me this will probably be a religion check. It's more of a kind of a ritual.
Yeah, for the record, I'm not casting the spell right now. I don't have it prepared. I'm saying I can do this in the morning.
Yeah, this is more to see if you have the items basically that you need.
What is
They're
this?
all going to ask you if it works or not.
Religion?
Yeah, religion.
13?
13? Yeah.
With advantage because we're all like a part of this right now, adding items.
I'll say that you've never done this before, and hey, it's worth a shot.
Okay.
See what you get.
Pyth is honestly kind of looking at this and she's like, she's trying to act like she knows what she's doing, but you can see there's like a certain level of uncertainty.
You all are still within at least eyesight of the
They're watching us like show
I
and
was about to
tell.
say, every so often, you guys kind of look back, because you're kind of huddled in a circle at this point. Kind of, everyone's kind of pulling out their pockets, saying, "Well, what does everybody have to work with?" And as you all kind of look off to the side, you see that the orcs from kind of up, and you guys are lower because it's kind of more of a climb up to the mouth cave. So they're all looking down at you, kind of like leaning over and kind of looking at what you're doing. One of them says, "Hey, Snog!" Snog looks up. "I thought you had a dragon to kill!" And he kind of elbows the other one. They look like they're kind of laughing, but they're a little too far away for you to hear the chuckles.
Snog
kind of looks down and then looks at you guys and go, I really don't want to fight the dragon.
Pyth like kind of stops and like looks back at them, and just makes like a super loud crack of thunder in the air.
They both kind of like look at each other. They look up in the air, and they're all kind of it spooked them for a little bit. So they're kind of checking their surroundings and turning around a little bit. They're a little concerned with the fact that there's like no clouds in the sky.
Pyth just goes back to her gems.
Her gems and her marbles and her stick and her rock.
It's like,
So, Pythavin, do you think God of Chaos will give us a straight answer?
there's only so much you can twist a yes or no answer.
Also, remember, Pythavin, that you don't have it currently prepared, which means that this will be something you can't do
This is in
now.
the morning. Let me nap for 4 hours.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean, it is middle of the day.
Nap
Depends on
for
what
4
everyone else wants
hours.
to do. And you're camping outside of their front door at this point?
No, I would say
I don't think so. I think we're gonna move, but like we stop for a second to see if we can even do this.
Oh, it seems like we are kind of like not right outside. We're just a little ways away from it, because our original plan was to wait for the drow, so far enough not to be immediately seen, but we can still see it.
So how about...
Say if you guys wanted to continue to walk towards the north, from the direction that you came. You want to be out of eye line from the Orc Cave?
Or do we want to go back the way we came, like down the path?
It'd take another 15 minutes to get out of sight.
I'm not particularly concerned with getting out of sight of the cave. I mean, if they come and harass us, we will just be like, we're just getting ready. Chill.
But like again, if we're waiting for the drow,
like we need to be able to see what's
your
coming.
Spell is ready.
Yeah.
So we want to go like back down the hill then.
What I'm thinking is we should
it
just
comes back towards us.
set up somewhere nearby where we can still see everything that's going on, and just make sure somebody, probably honestly 2 people, just to make sure we don't miss anything, are on watch. And then Pyth can just like do her little thing, set up some new spells, and then try to do this.
Okay. Alright, so we'll say here that you guys spend maybe 20, 30 minutes kind of walking away. In fact, actually, I'll say for this purpose that you guys probably make your way back to your original campsite before you went to the Orc Cave.
We don't want to go, we want to be able to like see the cave still, is
You
the
still
thing.
want to be inside of the cave.
Yeah, like I don't care personally if the orcs see us chilling here.
Kind of do, to be honest, because we are going to get ambushed by the drow if we are in sight.
Like,
I mean, there is nowhere to hide necessarily as you get further
You're
away
making an assumption that the drow is not going to come before you're able to cast this spell.
if that's the case, then we 1v1 her. It's not like...
But
Oh
we
yeah,
can't
1v1, I'm
1v1
sure.
her if we're by the cave and the orcs decide to turn on us, then it's like a ton of a mess. That's what I'm saying. That's why we should go further down.
But the thing, why would they do it? They have no reason to attack us if they know that we can take care of their dragon problem. We're just dealing with our drow problem.
They have no reason not to attack us either.
Yeah, but why go through the effort?
I mean,
Because they
what
like
we
to
could
eat
do-
people. They like to eat
What we could do is we could go out of sight, and then, like what you said, Pythavin, we could have 2 people kind of in sight just to keep watch. And if the drow does come, then we can go alert the rest of the group that are slightly out of sight. So, I mean, the party would be somewhat split, but not too far away. In case something would happen, we could still get to each other and like, hey, help, you know. Like, the rest of the party's still kind of out of sight, and then you've got the people on watch kind of in sight, but stealthily hiding to a point, you know?
But I think we'd just be splitting it further than we want to split it. Because how far would we have to go to actually be out of sight?
I'd say, I mean, initially, guys, took you an hour to find the place, but that was, now that you know where it is, obviously, it's not relevant. So you're not really that far away from actually where you camped previously.
You said it was like half an hour before. So if something were to happen, if you have to run half an hour to go get the rest of the group, it's gonna be too late by then. Either she's gonna escape or they're gonna get killed.
And it was about 15 minutes from that point to hit where you start to get to the trail. The trail kind of died off at that point. Then it opened up basically to the rest of the open plains. But yeah.
Like I really like I feel like we could just be like sit here, make camp, and then if the drow comes, we can fight her. And if the orcs are like, why are you doing this instead of going and fighting the dragon? We can be like, well, we were just resting before we make our way up this big stupid mountain and she attacked us, so we have to defend ourselves. There's no particular reason that they're gonna jump in a fight between us and the drow in the middle of our own fight.
Well, sounds good to me, I guess. I mean, I don't...
Orcs and reason.
If all else fails, we pull the ripcord on Archer.
Stock's not even commenting on this. He's kind of just bobbing his head up and down like a little bobblehead.
Pite's not saying this word for word because this is me talking. But
this is kind of a...
But at the same time,
you guys
this
are
is...
kind of open Discord. You're kind of throwing out ideas of what you guys are doing. So he's just kind of listening, kind of looking back and bobbing between everybody's ideas. That was a good idea. That was a good idea.
He just agrees with whatever.
He doesn't. He's like, he doesn't have any clue why he's here at this point, and he just knows that he's kind of stuck. He doesn't have any other way to. He has nothing else to do, so he's playing along.
So can I whip out my tent? Oh wait, I don't have my tent.
What?
Okay,
Why
look,
don't you have
we
your
can
tent?
just...
Pine still has it.
We can just camp somewhere near inside of the cave. I'll keep watch. And I'll make sure nothing sneaks up or anything.
In the cave?
We're not going
not in the cave. Not in the cave. Tavi, it's like you don't listen to anything at all, ever.
We can have Tora Silverthread again.
I am not walking up to those orcs and putting silver thread between them. They're not going to trust it, and they're going to hit me.
You can just put it towards the north where we came from.
From the south? From the north? I don't... Okay.
North would be where we came from.
Yes, I walk off.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with her.
Pyth is going to find a nice spot to settle down and start meditating.
Archer's going with Tor, by the way.
Snog picks up a rock and starts to kind of smash it against the side of his axe. Sparks will fly out a little bit.
He just takes out his long swords and is just kind of looking them over, just inspecting, making sure everything's all right. He's just sitting down, just chilling, vibing with his swords.
Tavi pulls out his bedroll, lays on it, takes a nap. waiting for everyone to figure out what they're gonna do.
The Snog is sitting across from Mahi, and he kind of looks up after he stops kind of scraping this rock against his axe. He kind of looks at it and then looks at Mahi and goes,
So, this hot drow? Have you seen this drow?
He just kind of looks up, lifts his brow from looking at his swords.
I haven't seen her.
He continues just inspecting his weapons.
he looks a little disappointed, and he kind of sits there, thinks for a minute, and then kind of leans back in again and goes,
So, like, you don't really know how hot? I mean, like, are we talking about anywhere from a 1 to a... Wait, what's more than 1?
Oh my god.
3.
Yeah. Is she a 3?
I would say she's probably about a 2, but you'd have to ask the water genasi.
she's not there, obviously.
Yeah.
Alright.
He kind of looks off in that direction and looks back. Ugh.
I'll tell you guys.
He kind of looks at Tavith and Mahi. He's not really paying attention to Python. And he goes,
Not many other guys back in the cave are into the whole, other species, but it's kind of my thing. I mean, first of all, have you
Shocking.
seen orc women?
He was literally flirting with Pyth when they first.
yeah.
As soon as he says something about orc women, Mahi cracks the smallest smile, but then goes back into stoic face because he doesn't want the orc to see it.
He kind of looks over to Tavith and goes,
Really, I always felt like, maybe in another life, I could have been something else. Like, not an orc.
Like what?
I don't know. What are you?
I'm a Goliath.
Yeah, I want to be you.
Oh man,
Just straight up want to be you.
nice.
Want to be
Good
like
choice.
you.
Good choice, Snog.
He just kind of lifts his brow, kind of shakes his head, and then goes back to just brushing off his swords.
kind of looks
Looking-
back at Mahi and goes,
See, I don't want to be a... What are you again? You're a dragon?
Dragon born.
Come out of an egg?
Yes.
Oh man.
Anyway, I don't want to be this guy. He's got a tail. How do you sit in that?
He's currently sitting, just kind of turns back and looks at his tail,
Like,
I just
and he's just
sit.
sitting down.
No, man, I love you, dude.
he kind
Say-
of chuckles.
just saying, he has to carry around his weapon.
And Mahi just kind of slowly opens his mouth a little bit and shuts it.
I already have one with me at all times.
Again, he's just looking at his swords. Every time he goes to talk, he looks at him, talks to him. As soon as he's done, he looks straight back down at his swords. Like, short and sweet, back to the swords.
That feels inconvenient.
Snog elbows Tavith and goes, I got a weapon for you right here. And he gives you the finger.
He calls it.
Dude literally has one joke and that's it.
That
We-
is, he is.
We
This
stand
is
an
his thing.
eco-friendly king that recycles.
I fist bump him.
The same joke.
He says something in Draconic and goes back to his swords.
Meanwhile, Tor's like muttering, kind of like stomping down the path to go set up alarm. Takes like 10 minutes to set up the alarm across the path. Just kind of muttering to herself the whole time.
What are you muttering to yourself?
It's all in primordial.
Okay.
So say at this point you get to kind of the similar area where you set up that alarm previously. In fact, you
Oh,
can even
no.
still see some of
That's
the
far away.
not too far away from where you guys were.
Yeah, it's a whole like mile away from where we last set up camp is where I last set up alarm.
How long ago? How much time did you spend? 15 minutes?
It's the distance. I can't go that far.
Okay.
I can only go a mile at most. So basically, I'm just going back down the path a bit.
Okay.
I'm not taking it super far.
Alright, so I'll say you aren't familiar with the location.
Well, I mean, I'm going back down the same path we came up. I'm just not going down as far.
So where are you?
Okay, so where I originally set the trap, so where we set up camp was at the very base of the mountain, yes?
Currently where you guys are camping at the moment, yes.
No, we're still up by the cave.
No, okay, so where we set up camp last night.
Is near the cave where you are now, but where you set the camp up is further down the road. Yeah.
But
Yes,
then
was at
from
the
that
base. And
camp,
then I
she set
up
the trap a
along the woods,
mile
about
away.
A mile from there. I can't go that far because we're up by the mountain now.
Okay.
And I can't reach that far. So I basically almost go down the hill
I see what you're saying.
close to where our, not probably all the way back down, but like halfway down, back like between where we are and where our camp was, the halfway point is where I set alarm.
Okay. So there is no path in this area. It's kind of just an open field. Because you aren't there yet, then. In other words, you're going to randomly place the alarm in the middle of an open field.
There's no path to the...
There's not a path up the mountain. We've already discussed. We discussed this last session, which is why setting alarm here isn't gonna work. But I'm gonna set it anyway. It's kind of vaguely where it looks like it would be easiest to walk up the mountain in the hills. Is where I set alarm 20 feet across.
You kind of take your thumb and kind of look over to the mountain and kind of eyeball it a little bit, and then kind of position it back where the ground is, where you're kind of standing, and go, yeah, you think that's
looks good to me.
It's aligned as best as you can tell.
Archer, you can probably tell it's kind of what I'm muttering about is the stupidity of all of this and how this isn't gonna work. And we're not gonna catch them coming up the mountain this way.
Archer's just looking at the fact that we're out in like an open area and we're covering a 20-foot line.
It's clear I am not happy about covering this 20-foot space.
Yeah, this is like fishing with a net, with a butterfly net in an ocean.
Yes.
I would like the record to show Pyth originally just said we just needed scouts.
No, you have had the alarm plan from the beginning. Alarm was entirely Pyth's idea.
Well, Pyth's alarm was for the mouth of the cave, and you said I'm not doing that.
And then you said then somewhere else.
Pyth said then go do whatever, I don't care.
This is Pyth's idea. I'm standing there.
She would say that. So I will say here that you take the ritual time frame to go ahead and set your alarm, muttering the whole while that this is never going to work. In the meantime, Python, you are long resting, I assume.
Meditating.
Okay, and the rest of you guys, I mean, it is kind of early, but you're all kind of just chilling. Really have no reason to rest at this point. None of you all need it.
Yeah, I was just laying on my bedroll.
Okay. All right, very well. So, roleplay time for the next 4 hours. So it'll be, by the time the Python's done, just to kind of speed this along, it will be closer to, not necessarily completely dark, but it will be dusk.
Assuming we don't see anything in that time, and that the trap is not tripped.
Yes, and we'll say that Tor and Archer have, unless they want to roleplay during this. But if not, we will skip ahead. They've returned, and the alarm's been set. And so far, in the next few hours, nothing. Everyone pretty much gathers around and in your little camp area. Every so often, Snog kind of looks back in the direction of the cave and kind of nervously looks back here and gets to just playing with his axe, you know, making some finger jokes on occasion.
The same one.
Does anybody have anything they'd like to do? Or shall we skip forward?
After Mahi gets done with his swords, he probably is just gonna pull out his pan flute and just try to play a little something just to pass the time. Not trying
Mahi,
to.
please no.
Mahi.
Don't.
Play the flute.
Mahi, the orcs are literally right there. And the last time you played the flute, we got eaten by bugbears.
Well, technically, Tor get
Exactly.
got
That's all
pulled
that
away.
matters to Tor.
or mauled.
So he goes to bring it up to his mouth. He rolls his eyes.
Whatever, just trying to pass the time.
And then shoves it back into his pack.
Okay. Otherwise, roll performance if you wanted to.
No, I'm not gonna do it,
You
unfortunately.
decided against it.
Though I do pull out my playing card set and is like,
Want to play?
and kind of look at like Tor and Archer and
You had playing cards.
you got a problem with me having playing cards?
Playing cards
Literally,
could have
one
been
of the
used.
things- Yeah, for the ritual. It's literally one of these specifically named things. It's like playing cards.
How was I supposed to know that? How was
I read it out. I said specially marked sticks, bones, or similar tokens. Oh no, I didn't. Okay, so it lists it there, but it says in the actual description, gem inlaid sticks, dragon bones, ornate cards, or some other divining tool. So, whatever.
Well, you
She
know he
didn't
has
say
it
it.
now.
Well, no, she doesn't. She's meditating. We know.
But yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna play cards with Mahi.
I'm gonna play cards.
I mean,
too.
if y'all are still playing cards when Pyth wakes up, she's just gonna be like, you.
Probably. I mean, Mahi will be. I don't know if the rest of the group will continue. Well, Tor and Archer.
So how do we play cards, Mahi?
He's just gonna play basically poker. That's
I can
pretty
run a
much what
poker game. Since
I mean,
Pyth
I
isn't
would-
playing.
I mean, we're not. Mahi's not really trying to bet. He's just playing just to pass the time.
Yeah, it's just kind of passing the time for the 4 hours.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like glancing over at Pyth occasionally. Like, is she done?
We play cards for a while, and Tor's like, Archer, give me an animal.
What?
What?
Like, name an animal.
Owl bear.
Pine, why did I know you were gonna say that? And I like pull out my water skin and I try to use shape water to like make the water vaguely in the shape of an owl bear.
What is that?
It's an owl bear. I've only seen one once, okay?
Doesn't look like an owl bear.
Roll a performance.
Okay. Hold on. Oh no, where'd my dice go? There it is. Oh! 21.
Oh wow.
Hey,
It's pretty detailed. I mean, she's even got the feathered eyes and the beak.
I
Right.
freeze it so you can see the detail more clearly.
I don't
Yes.
think it looks like an owl bear.
It looks exactly like an owl bear.
Archer disagrees.
even though it.
Roll I guess roll deception.
No, because she's not even gonna insight check him. She's just gonna kind of like dejectedly look at the owl bear, kind of like drop her shoulders.
He kind of shrugs.
I think it looks great.
Thing is, it's too late. It doesn't matter. Archer said it didn't look good. She
Look at that, grade A a-hole.
Lets him out, puts the water back in the water skin.
Snog says, "I'm good eating."
What's funny is we actually ate the owl bear.
This is
Yeah,
true.
After-
it wasn't good.
It was not good because Tavi sucks as a cook.
Hey, let's having a bad night, okay?
Snog goes. You can kind of hear like a little growling sound. And goes, "Oh, I could use a good owl bear right about now."
Go get one.
He kind of looks around.
No forest around here, human.
Then eat one of your buddies in the cave.
I've got something for you to eat right here. And he gives you the finger.
Yes, no, keep it
Nog?
coming.
You
Keep it
really
coming.
are a
The
dumb.
next time you do that, I'm going to stab you.
He looks at him and goes, "You really are a dumb," and then he says it, but I'm not gonna say it. But Mahi says it.
He laughs it off. He doesn't really pay attention to everybody else. He goes back and starts playing with his axe again.
I look over at Pipe to see if she's stunned yet.
I don't know how
It's been
long
like
it's
10
been.
minutes.
How long is it gonna take her? 4 hours?
4 hours.
The rest of you basically just every so often look over at Python, and her back is turned away from everybody. You just see her kind of taking her meditative stance.
I start playing marbles with myself.
Every so often you can hear a
Mahi's bored. Mahi wants to play marbles.
Mahi's got to ask. Tor's not offering. She's playing a game of solitaire marbles, which is how she spent most of her childhood, probably.
By the way, is anybody keeping guard?
Archer is.
I am not.
Alright, Archer, go ahead and roll perception.
18.
18, okay. You keep a good vigilant eye over the horizon, and you're kind of scoping as best as you can, circling and patrolling the area. Every so often you kind of look over to Pyth and wonder what she's thinking.
She's thinking Arby.
But for the most part, you don't see any movement. There's a couple times where you see some movement over by the hill, and you still see inside of the mouth of the cave, but nothing out in the path or in the surrounding areas. You also keep an eye on the sky. The sky is pretty clear, but nothing that strikes your interests. Passing birds. None of them dragon size.
Are there any rocks nearby?
There are plenty of rocks nearby.
I'm just gonna start throwing rocks in the distance.
I thought you were gonna say you were throwing them at Pyth. I was like, are you trying to make this last longer?
Yeah, pretending that you had some kind of a pond, so unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm like skipping rocks on the dirt.
On the ground.
On the ground.
Go ahead and roll performance.
Ooh. 5.
Yeah, you're not really good at this. Every time you throw it, kind of just the rock just sits there. There's no skipping at all. It just hits the ground and mocks you.
He's trying.
Maybe you're using too big rocks. Especially since it sounds like you're grunting a little bit when you're chucking it, and it kind of is like,
Thunk.
trying to play off like an Olympic game, but it doesn't really seem like you're going to make it. By the way, every time that you do that, you hear laughing in the background. But it's not from your group, though. Guess who it is?
From?
Sounds very orcish.
Is there a big rock nearby?
There's lots of big rocks. That's the ones.
I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna throw it back at him.
Go ahead and roll an attack roll, but with disadvantage because
What
it's a big
modifier?
rock.
What type of modifier?
Just a d20. It's just an attack roll, but it's
Oh, okay.
disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Okay. 12.
Goes over the group. Pretty longer throw considering what you were doing, but it way over. Snog kind of looks up in the air and watches it plots behind him. And he claps, stands up for you, and sits back down.
This orc is gonna get himself killed by Archer.
You don't think anybody's gonna stop him either, to be honest.
No.
Archer takes a deep breath in. And he just starts throwing rocks again.
So after a few minutes here, Snog goes over to Taviv. And he goes, "What's wrong with the human? He seems frustrated."
He always seems to be, it always seems to be that time of the month for him.
He needs to find himself a drow.
Probably. So, but he's constantly in that time of the month mood. Never know what he's gonna do.
Well,
Tavi, shut up.
What?
Tavi.
Did I say that out loud? Oops.
Oops.
You never know what he's gonna do. Coming from you is very rich.
You know what I mean. He's just moody.
Well, I'm not the most insightful orc, because I rolled a 3. But,
Dang. Great.
I thought that maybe he just didn't like me, but
yeah,
right. He's probably just moody.
Yeah, something like that.
Most humans are. Now, granted, I've not met too many humans. You know, I've eaten some, but at least they told me it was human. It could have been something else.
He kind of cringes.
And he kind of loses his trail of thought, and he kind of just doesn't pick up where he almost like starts staring off in the distance. Yeah. You wait a few minutes, but you're not really sure what to respond with. Eventually, he forgets what he was doing, and then he picks up his axe again.
He sounds like my Uncle Tom.
Archer's arm is tired, so he's gonna go back and sit with the group.
All right. 3.5 more hours to go.
At the end of this,
You guys can like nap.
Archer is going to not
Well,
nap.
see,
He's
essentially, you
keeping
guys
watch.
can actually just take it. I mean, if anyone can benefit from it, go ahead and short rest for everybody, because it's what constitutes a short rest.
I've done nothing.
I
Cantrip outside of Shape
cannot
Water.
benefit.
Pyth also cast a spell earlier, so she's double benefiting from this.
Yeah. All right. So if no one else has anything to add, we'll say after all the pleasantries at the point where Python kind of awakens out of her trance.
Oh, finally.
It's about time, Pyth. What you got for us?
I believe I'm ready to try this.
Wait, you haven't done this before?
Can't say I have.
So Python, as you turn to kind of face the group, and you're kind of watching, they're all turned to you. It's the interesting thing is you look at Snog, and Snog looks like he's got his eyes closed at the moment, and he's trying to kind of mimic your position where your trance.
Or trying to trance. By the way, Mahi still has the playing cards in his hand, also.
Pyth kind of like turns and like says, "All right, well, let's try," and then like stops. Could I borrow those? Those might make this easier.
He kind of looks confused, but hands them to you.
Sure.
Okay.
It's just gonna like leaf through them. These should work. Okay. I guess Pyth is just gonna kind of like settle down onto the ground. Having said also her prayers after awakening. Well rested, unlike the rest of the group. Sleep cycle entirely thrown off. And she's gonna. Okay, so what is. Okay, I'm gonna do this in pipe. So I can only do this. I can do this more than one time, but it may not be accurate after the first time. So. we need to establish what our plan is and ask whether it is a good one or not, essentially. So is our plan to go to the mountain, or is our plan to stay and wait for the drone?
Stay and wait.
Agreed.
Okay.
Mountain? No?
Our plan is to wait for the drow.
Okay.
I mean, so far we've been here 4 hours and it's gone fine. So, so Pyth is going to shuffle the cards and then kind of start laying them out in separate stacks, just randomly, and then it's kind of just like mentally designating what she is thinking of each card as, like a yes or no answer, essentially, like what each card means.
Like tarot cards?
Yeah, she's essentially using these cards, but like mentally deciding what they're going to mean before they are overturned. So like, if she gets this card, it's good or bad, you know. So, that being done, she's gonna cast this as a ritual, so 10 minutes, no spell slot, and use it to see what will happen if they wait for the drow and try to fight her near the orc cave.
Alright, the rest of you kind of watch that, and is almost, Pythavan kind of goes into a little bit of a trance as she's kind of flipping through these cards, and she takes out some of the other tokens and spreads it out in front of the bonfire that you guys have created for your little campsite. A little wisp of smoke and the sparks kind of fly out there, and you all watch her eyes start to glaze over and then start kind of glowing like a bright white light. Just for a slight moment, her eyes come back to normal. And the card that she has pulled, Pythavan, from what you have predetermined, is a woe. Whoa!
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 Renegade! Archer does this. No.
No,
wrecked.
no one else has any idea of what this card means, but you do see Pyth kind of just frown and
Yeah,
to
everybody's
himself.
kind of leaning in, like really close, and everyone else, including Snog, is kind of he's awoken from his trance because he was actually just sleeping, and he's kind of looking around like he's pretending like he knows what's going on, but he actually has no idea, but he's just watching what everyone else is doing. And so everyone's getting real close to you, and they're all like wide-eyed and just kind of waiting for you to say something.
It would seem fortune does not smile upon our plan.
Oh, great. So now what?
So we go to the mountain.
By
No.
the way, it's starting to get dark. The sun's kind of head behind the mountains, and you're starting to see the stars coming out. It's still light enough where there's kind of that lightish blue effect, but another hour or two, it's going to be dark.
Well, we can try to come up with another plan. Or we can go with the plan of going into the mountains.
And
But
you can't cast a spell. I mean, ritual-wise, you have no restrictions, so you can continue to keep doing it if you like.
I can keep doing it, but every time I keep doing it, a 25% chance is... Well, technically, I can cast it an infinite time, so basically on the 4th time that I cast it, it's 100% just going to be a random answer at that point.
Yep.
So there's a 25% chance increase every time that there will just be a random answer. So even if we get an answer on the next one, we don't necessarily know for sure that it was like an accurate read.
Yeah.
So mountains it is.
Not at this time of day.
I don't even.
In
wanna
the
go.
morning.
We're not prepared to go up into the mountains.
Well, ask the orc. Maybe he can help us get prepared. Maybe he can.
Oh yeah,
Go back
because
and
the
get-
orc is going to be able to walk into the place that he was basically kicked out of and be like, "Hey, me and my friends need traveling clothes. You got anything water genasi and Goliath sized?"
I
Tav,
mean,
Well,
we were
you get
given the
Dragonborn.
most useless piece of orc flesh possible.
let's keep in mind we could probably pay or trade them for gear. I mean, they lived there. Surely they have gear.
Mm.
I don't need any gear.
That's great.
So,
The rest of us
Snog-
will freeze.
Snog kind of has this Dwayne Johnson kind of lifting eyebrow kind of look, and he's like,
Yeah, we don't have a lot of stuff. I don't know. Did you see our cave?
Did you just leave everything behind? Like, you were wearing clothes, surely, when you were chased out.
he kind of looks at himself, and of course, he's wearing leather armor, but it's really, it's definitely been patched together, not very well made. So he kind of looks at you and goes,
Yeah, most of our stuff we left behind. Kind of, you don't really take inventory when the dragon's eating the head of your buddy. Down by the river.
We could try to hunt for furs, but we don't know how to tan things.
Did he just say by the river?
yeah.
We live in a cave down by the river.
There's no river, by the way.
Where is this river?
There is no river. And he
I
didn't
have 5 beaver pelts.
Great.
I will
Great.
cover my left leg.
What? Do you know if they do have anything? I'm asking, what's his face? Snog?
If they have anything?
Even if it's in poor condition, I can fix it. In fact, I could perhaps barter with them to fix any of their broken gear in exchange for usable things.
Oh yeah, let's fix all of the orcs' equipment. That's a good idea.
Do you have a better one?
Not that.
Would you just like to go off into the mountains and die? Because that's about what our plan is right now.
No, that wasn't my plan either.
Well, we will
This
freeze if we don't have gear. And do you know how long it's going to take to go into town and buy gear if we can even afford enough for all of us to wear?
Okay, I thought we weren't going to go into the mountains because by the time we got back, the drow was our concern.
Yeah, you're the one who made it such a big deal that we had to get the drow. We had to get the drow. Why barter with the orcs? And now you're wanting to barter with the orcs? Can you just have an idea and stick to the plan for once in your life?
I had an idea, and we did the idea. We checked if the gods, literally divine beings, looking upon our plan, thought it was a good idea, and they said no. I don't know about you, but I'm not going to continue with that plan when the gods said it was a bad one.
Yes,
I
let's
feel
listen
like
to the
if
gods.
we
Let's
asked-
listen to the gods.
I feel like if we asked the gods what they thought about all of our plans, they would say, I think it's a bad idea.
So the rest of you actually don't notice while you're discussing this, but Mahi has actually stepped away and walked away.
Fantastic. I can...
Snog goes,
Anytime that, we need stuff, sounds like you need stuff, we usually kind of go up to the road and take the stuff from other people. So we could, find people and take their stuff, and then we could use that stuff for ourselves.
I'm not opposed
You
to
know,
this.
I think,
and he's
I
really
think
proud of
you're
his
close-
idea, by the way.
That's an idea.
I think you're close to the right idea, but maybe instead of taking their stuff, we could offer to pay them for some of their extra stuff, and if they say no, we just let them go about their business and not rob them.
Okay, Water Girl, listen, maybe you didn't understand Snog. So, I speak slower. So we take their stuff and we keep it.
So-
Also, we could kill them and then take their stuff. Because it is easier to take stuff from dead people. Unless the dead person gets back up and then takes their stuff back. Then Snog says they cross the line. And you don't mess with that crap.
You
So
see,
anyway,
this is all orcs amount to. Nothing but this.
hey, shut up, human! I'm trying to tell you something. This is a good plan. Take stuff, use stuff.
Pyth is going to
Snog keep all of the stuff.
Pyth is going to, in the meantime,
Also, anybody.
go ahead and ritually cast Augury again and check the going into the mountain plan.
While the rest of you listen to Snog display his idea, and it takes about 10 minutes for him to describe this very complicated plan of taking stuff and keeping stuff. Python casts her spell again. So the rest of you really aren't paying attention. So for Python, for your perspective, again, you are flipping through your cards. And go ahead and ask your question.
Is the plan of going into the mountains going to end in all of us dead? No, that's not actually the question. She's essentially.
Oh, no.
It's more or less like, is it a good idea to?
Yeah.
It's more or less just, is it a good idea to go into the mountains?
All right. So the card that you have chosen implies whoa.
So literally just screw you guys.
Pythons.
Archer's
Tired.
like a few steps away from the group, just kind of like swinging his sword. Like,
Tori's like holding her temples because she's never been talked down to by somebody this stupid before. She's like, oh my god, this is my life now.
So just to keep in mind, these augury is, of course, does have the
Yeah.
ability to be randomized. So
It wasn't necessarily true, but like Pyth, with her suspicion that it was already a bad idea, seeing this in the cards is like,
that's what she does. Is
Yeah, literally, you just hear Pyth go, as she stares at a second card.
so how's the mountains looking?
I'm beginning to suspect that it would have been a better idea to just attack the camp where we knew the drow was in the first place. Yeah.
Maybe if we just head back in that direction, we'll run into them naturally, right?
Well, at this point, two of our plans are ending badly for us, so at this point, I don't want to do anything. I just want to sleep and hope I die in the middle of it.
Pyth is going to, just for the sake of it.
On this one.
See, time of that month, Snog. That's what I'm talking about.
Pyth's going to, just for the sake of it,
Yep.
cast it again and ask, would it be a good idea to go back and try to find the drow and do the third one?
this is the third one.
Yeah.
This is a 50-50 chance, basically.
Yeah.
So as Pyth kind of trances back out again, the rest of you start again, kind of regurgitating back Snog's plan back to him and how crazy and stupid it is.
For the record, Pyth is asking all of these questions in Celestial, not in Common.
Okay, yeah. So nobody is hearing outside of
Mahi
Mahi
understands.
would, but apparently Mahi walked away and none of
he's
us
walked
noticed.
away,
I don't
yep.
know when we're allowed to notice it.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a minute. But he's walked away for a moment. So the rest of you are hearing Python saying some nice, pretty, angelic wordings, but you have no idea what she's saying. He's just
Nice.
doing a ritual. And so Snog kind of he doesn't pay attention, but he's listening to the rest of you, and he hears Tor, and he hears Tavit and Archer, and then he kind of nods as you're talking, like you're almost like he's starting to understand what you're saying. And then there's like a moment of silence, and then he goes, "Okay, so again, if we go and we take the stuff from the people, now listen.
We can use their stuff.
Yeah, tried. This guy gets it.
I'm gonna fire an arrow at this guy's feet.
I've been listening, Snog.
In the meantime, we go over to Mahi, who's set away, still within earshot of the group, but he's trying to drone out the droning noise. Mahi, what are you doing?
Mahi is praying in Celestial. And so he's on one knee with the sword kind of in the ground, kind of like one of those very stereotypical knightly kneels. And all this is in Celestial. Artitan served you faithfully, and he said you always came through. Need your guidance. He's listening very intently.
Kind of listening. Go ahead and roll a religion check for me.
The first time I've used religion as a paladin.
Roll a 1.
That would follow.
That
Okay.
honestly would. I rolled an 8. Total.
Close
Okay.
enough.
Isa intelligence not so high.
Okay. So you kind of listen. Your sword, by the way, is in your hand, right?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Yep.
Yo, what?
Oh my
Invoke the
god.
sword.
I haven't got hit.
He gonna get a talking to from his sword.
Okay, that is a 15.
Okay. As you kind of wait for from an answer, and you know, you do hear, like I said, you hear arguments and you hear Snog kind of yelling in the background. So what I mean, guys, is if we kill the people first. And
We're
then
not killing the people!
okay, fine, we could
I'm gonna
take the
kill
stuff
you,
first.
Snog. I'm gonna kill you and take your stuff.
So you're hearing all of this in the background, but after what feels like longer to you, like almost maybe 5 or 10 minutes, but in reality, not that much time has passed, but it feels like the voices drone out until it's whispers, and then it's silence. And then as you look up into the sky, and at this point the stars are out, and one of them kind of shines a little brightly. It twinkles a little bit. And as you kind of look and cock your head, and then it kind of blinks out. You kind of, while that moment you're thinking that's a little strange. And then as you kind of look around you, you notice all of a sudden everything is kind of blinked out.
Oh,
You're now surrounded in darkness.
Dear.
You look down at your feet, and the ground, the rocky dirt ground that you were once kneeling on at this point has now almost looked like a shimmering water effect, like a dark pool.
If it's this dark blood stuff again, Mahi already knows what's fixing to happen. Had a dream about this once.
And as the sword in your hand is clutched from the hilt with the blade down into the ground, this burning fire sensation comes over your hand. Exactly, you wince in pain. By the way, none of the rest of you are either seeing this or paying attention. So this is kind of just a Mahi thing.
We're all overwhelmed by Snog.
What the heck is wrong with this thing?
It's intense. It's more intense than you've felt before in the past. And essentially, the darkness almost cuts down the middle and almost opens like a curtain. And to now in front of you, you see a very similar, what feels like a set of ruins. The ruins seems very similar. And you see orcs lined up against the broken walls. Some of the walls have caved in. You see kind of a broken gatehouse, a large tower. And one by one, the orcs that are lying kind of in a row, kind of staring at you. And one by one, from the left to the right, they kind of fade off into a wispy smoke. And it kind of starts going from left to right, inward, down the line of orcs. Till you get to the last orc. And this orc looks... You've not seen him before, but he's a much larger orc. And then, at which point, the blade pulls out of your grasp and hovers with the blade pointing up into the sky. Outside of your holding, it's levitating. And then it points towards the orc and like shoots like a rocket right into the orc's chest before everything disappears and you're back in the field. If you look at your hand looks scarred. You can see the imprint of the hilt of the sword burnt into your flesh.
He just grips the sword really intently, kind of hits the ground with the sword out of frustration, and then he looks up in the sky and screams in Celestial, well, what exactly do I say in Celestial?
That's not very helpful!
Yeah, basically he's like, you know what? You never did anything for me anyway! You can go screw yourself! He's screaming at Helm, by the way.
Pyth, who understands Celestial, is like, ooh.
He's just gonna sit there for a minute. It's kind of like look at his hand, kind of rub it a bit, kind of go, ooh, right, that burns. And then feed the sword and walk back to the group. He's still listening for any voices and he's still listening for any godly voices is the best way I can describe it. I don't know. He's still listening.
Any helpful voices?
Yeah, any helpful voices in his head?
Before Mahi has turned around and gone back while this whole thing is happening. So Pythavin, you are casting your third augury?
Yep.
Okay. So ask your question.
Is it a good idea to go back and try to find the drow? Yeah. Is it a good idea to go? Yeah, that was no.
Okay.
The first question was, is it a good idea to wait here and try to find the drow? Second one was, should we go to the mountains? Third one is, should we go back towards where we found the drow and try to find her again?
Okay, I see the distinction. Go ahead. Let's see.
Pyth's not expecting much at this point. She's just any direction would be nice.
Okay. We
By that laugh. We and woe. Yay.
You pull the card that reflects the we and woe. We and woe!
Pyth is like... Pyth kind of just looks at it and then slowly slides it back into the deck and just like sighs. Just like...
And at this point, as Mahi has now somberly joined the group. He gets in on the tail end of the conversation. So
Did
what
we
you're
hear him
saying?
scream though?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they.
Yeah, but to be honest, everybody is really kind of focused on like arguing with Snog.
I mean, he big
No,
yelled. That was probably
Yeah.
noticeable.
You all kind of like stopped what you were saying and looked kind of around, and then kind of went right back into it.
Pyth is kind of just
You making
looking at him as
two?
she shuffles the deck and then holds it out to him again.
I'll say for this purpose, since you were kind of in ritual Python, you weren't really paying attention. So even though you might have audibly heard it, you're purposely trying to drown it out.
He goes to take it with his dominant hand. It's hurt, so he kind of pulls it back and then grabs it with the other hand and shoves it in his pouch.
As you end the, as you come back into the group and I guess take your place where everyone else is sitting, so the last thing you hear is Snog goes, okay, so wait, we don't take the stuff? Is that what you guys are saying?
You're right. Yes.
Right,
No.
Right.
We don't take
We don't
the stuff.
take the stuff. No.
Do we still do the killing?
No.
No.
Definitely not.
Are you
He lifts an
stupid?
eyebrow. When
It
he said that.
depends, Snog. It depends on the
He
situation.
kind of looks at Tavuth and he has his hands open and his mouth is kind of open and he's shaking his head back and forth and goes, I don't know what to do with my life.
Do you have any other skills besides killing? Anything you like to do that does not involve killing?
Eating?
Have you tried cooking?
What's that?
Oh my god.
Hopefully, you'll be learning a lot with this, Snog.
I usually just ask what the other guy is eating and then he gives me a piece of it.
Well, you see, if you learn how to cook and make the food, you get to eat whatever you want. Because you get to decide.
Is there killing involved?
Sometimes.
If you're the butcher, yes. I mean, like, let's say you're gonna have pig, and you want some bacon, you can kill the pig to eat the bacon. But you can't kill, like, people.
You can
That-
kill as many owl bears as you want.
You can kill owl bears to cook
Stop.
them and eat them.
Snog's never been really the cook or the hunter. He's kind of the guy who stands in front of the door and makes sure that nobody gets in. What?
Did a pretty lousy job with that.
I forget what that's called.
A guard.
Sentry.
That's a very complicated word for him, Pyth. A guard is a little simpler.
Yeah, he kind of like, he looks at you kind of both, but the eyeballs tell a story that he's not,
I don't know what any of those words mean.
he's not kind of getting it.
The wheel is turning, the hamster is dead.
Exactly.
Is there even a wheel? I'm not sure.
It's a
wheel's
floating
kind of
hamster in space.
And it's dead.
And the hamster's just legs moving. It's just moving.
A
Miniature
dead
space
hamster, like twitching, floating aimlessly.
Just a dead obese hamster regretting all of its life decisions, floating aimlessly in space.
That's what's going on.
So, just because we brought this up,
What?
oops, wrong chat.
Okay, you got me excited. I'm like, oh wait.
Sorry,
False
Nothing
alarm.
for you.
not for you. Well, for you, but just we must share.
Not a direct.
Miniature giant hamster.
Oh, interesting.
This is a legit thing. From the old-
Miniature giant space.
this is from.
Wait. I gotta wrap my mind around this for a minute.
What?
This is from Baldur's Gate.
Miniature giant space hamster.
So space
So they're
hamster.
Yes.
So we were talking about something legit.
Oh my god.
Would Tor or Pyth know that things exist?
I love love how you just go, would Tor or Pyth, because you just assume everybody else is too stupid to know about these.
We're studied.
You will learn.
Obnoxious.
You
Condescending.
listen to the sounds.
All things
of beasts
considered,
and
Tor is
move.
not condescending. Maybe.
I'm never intentionally condescending, except when I am.
It comes off that way.
DM, did I take any damage from that? Me getting my palm scorched? Or is it just like a new aesthetic now? Mahi has a permanent scar on his hand.
No, it's not anything that necessarily won't heal. It's not a permanent scar. I will say that most of this is not physical.
It's all in me head. It's all in me head.
Congrats.
Nuts. Mahi is officially he's nuts.
Oh.
Pyth
These
is-
poor things.
Pyth is just like kind of sorting out everyone's stuff and like going and giving it back to them. So, I did 3 readings. Essentially, our outcomes were waiting here for the drow was a bad idea, going to the mountains is probably a bad idea, and going to find the drow might be a bad idea.
That sucks.
Which one has the highest probability of us surviving?
I have no idea.
You should ask what happens if we join the drow and decide to just become evil and say screw it, because honestly,
Don't
Pretty sure the
ask
gods
that.
are really gonna
Don't
give her an answer.
don't ask that.
hers might.
I doubt that.
I mean, if you want to give the cards back, but there's a 75% chance it'll be a random answer.
We could flip a coin.
That would probably be more accurate than me doing this reading at this point.
I'm gonna pull
Here's
out.
one thing. If we go into the mountains, we're probably definitely gonna freeze to death.
We don't have
So
the
I
deer
think that
forest,
is
I
our-
agree.
That is our worst option, I think.
You guys can stay
So-
close to me. I'll keep you warm.
Cross that
No.
one off for now.
Nope,
I
cross
think.
that off.
I'd rather freeze.
Same.
What?
So then we have
okay.
our other options of staying here, which honestly, if I stay in this spot any longer, I'm probably gonna lose my mind, and Archer's probably gonna commit homicide.
And we know for a fact it's a bad idea.
It's a bad idea. So let's head back down the mountain and figure it out from there.
I say maybe. Sorry, go ahead.
I agree.
Look, I mean, I guess we could just go back to that shrine and maybe they all left and we can search for clues after they left, possibly.
There's a little shrug.
Or we can go back to the shrine, guns a-blazing. Oh, what are guns?
With the gun.
Bows blazing. Bows blazing.
Bows a-blazing.
Weapons blazing would probably.
Weapons
Here's
blazing.
the thing: if we can get into the shrine, we might be able to use it.
What? Pray to the
What?
gods or something?
No. Well, you see, if you guys would listen to me.
So Tor
Then I
knows
would
what
be-
she's talking about because she saw this, but none of the rest of you kind of know this part.
I mean, we are listening to you, but you kind of paused for dramatic effect.
You did pause.
Continue.
You did pause.
Well, you see, if you guys would listen to me in the past, I've already told you this information. I told you all about the shrine. I told you what kind of god it was for, and I told you that typically there is a magical item there that is typically used for foreseeing the future or for finding things like scrying. Now, while I was there, again, I told you the lady was doing magic at the altar, which means she was either using it to foresee the future or to scry. Given that she immediately knew we were there, probably the latter. In which case, we can use it to find the drow, find Gundren, whatever it is we're looking for.
Yes, but you see, at the time, that temple was heavily guarded, and we probably would have died.
Right.
Let's give it a shot.
Well, I mean, I guess we could check it out again. Worst case scenario, we're back right where we started. And
However,
which seems to be the theme of our adventures.
I'm gonna look up at the sky. Can we sleep?
I'll keep watch. I've already rested.
I'll take second watch.
You don't need.
No, she doesn't have to go to sleep at all.
Oh yeah.
She's already
No, she doesn't have to go to sleep at all. Period. Right.
Yeah, because she already had her 4 hours. We've essentially taken like a 12-hour rest.
To then immediately rest for 8 more hours.
No, that's what I'm saying. We took a 4-hour followed by an 8-hour.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Too bad you're in the middle of nowhere, so it's not like you can do downtime stuff.
No, there's nothing to do.
There's like
so
nothing literally to do.
I will.
I tried to do stuff, and it just Archer said my bear sucked.
If I can, I'll practice with my thieves' tools while I'm up on watch.
Well, and I'm gonna sit down exactly where I'm standing, and Archer's gonna lean back, and he's gonna close his eyes.
Or
No,
we take
go to
the
bed.
stuff and not
Go to bed.
use the stuff.
Go
We just
to sleep.
Hey,
Sit down.
Snog,
take the
Snog,
stuff.
do you like being able to see?
This seems like a trick question.
It's a simple question. Do you like being able to see with your eyes?
How else do I see?
So yes, the answer is yes. You like to see things? It's nice to not be blind. Would you like to be blinded?
No, I can't see pretty things.
Then shut up. Go to sleep. I will blind you.
Okay. So that's a no on this taking stuff.
That is a definite no. So unless you would like to be blind for a while, go to sleep.
Can't the elf ask the cards about the taking stuff? Maybe.
Nog, if you don't
Maybe
shut
the
up, I
cards
will
could tell
stab
us
you.
that-
Wait, no.
Take-
Pyth holds her hands out to Mahi to take the cards back again.
He takes the cards and shoves them in his pouch.
No, give them to me.
Oh, okay. He gives her the cards.
She takes out a random card, looks at it, and says, "Stealing from people is going to be a bad idea. You should go to sleep." Puts the card back and hands it to Mahi.
He takes it, kind of does a small smile, and puts it back, but then...
So he totally looks disappointed, and kind of hear him whisper under his breath, "Man, I was sure that would work." And he kind of just leans over and like really contemplating his life choices, and he kind of turns with his back to the rest of the group and lays down on a bedroll. Actually, he doesn't have one. He lays down on the ground. He doesn't have a lot of inventory. I made him quickly.
He's just gonna take out his bedroll, walk just about maybe 10 feet away from the main group, and just lay out his bedroll and kind of sleep there.
You guys can still hear me, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
My modem freaked out there for a moment. I was like, oh crap, I might be out of internet, but I'm good. Proceed.
Pyth's on
Good night.
watch. Yeah.
Walks 10 feet.
Python, go ahead and roll perception for me.
I believe that's a 10. 10.
Okay. So y'all kind of start to snuggle down here. It's still pretty early. I mean, in comparison, but I mean, it is dark at this point. I mean, it just got dark, and feeling like there's not much else to do. Before anyone has actually fallen asleep, and unbeknownst to Pyth, because she's looking in the completely opposite direction, the rest of you passively hear some noise that is coming from behind, in the direction of the cave.
I mean, if it's a 14, my passive perception would have picked it up.
Yeah, because your passive will supersede your crappy roll.
Yup.
But yeah, so you all pretty much pick up on this.
I'm gonna open my eyes and sit up.
We all just like,
Except for Mahi, your passive perception sucks.
Uh-oh.
Oh man.
He's low key, just pouting right now. He's just on his bedroll.
He's trying so hard to go to sleep.
Also, Snog's not paying attention either.
Dog's an idiot.
Dog's passives suck.
So, yeah, his passive does suck. They're all 9s. So as you watch, there's some torchlight that's approaching, and you see about 4 oaks. 4 oaks.
Trees! The trees are coming for us!
The Ents are marching.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Alright, so 4 orcs with each other one holding basically a torch, and then one larging huge figure behind them.
Can I help you?
Ogre shape, and they are approaching. They don't seem like weapons ready, but they are armed accordingly.
Pyth is gonna go ahead and stand up and kind of like go to greet them. If they are coming towards us, right? They're not just like going.
They are walking towards you. You know.
So yeah, Pyth's gonna
standing
get up,
and he's gonna kind of tail behind Pyth
in this area because you know
we're just vibing. We're vibing.
So you just run up to them and say we're vibing?
No. She's basically she's just gonna go to like the edge of camp and then kind of just stand there and wait for them to get the rest of the way.
It's got a hippie conving. Okay. So they approach, and of course you see them from much further away with your dark vision. So
we both have dark vision.
Yep, they get within eyesight of everybody else. Everyone else can kind of see the figures. The rest of you can't really make out the ogre shape in the background, other than it's larger than the rest of them. But for those that have dark vision, you can see Gog is behind.
Okay, so it is dark.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's dark now.
Okay.
You have a campfire, but of course you're seeing their light, so you're catching the shadows and so forth.
Okay.
All right. So they have approached, and they see Pyth immediately standing there.
I'm just like, wait, like, what?
So one of the orcs kind of goes over to you and kind of, not necessarily shoves you, but kind of pushes you to the side. He goes, out of the way, elf. Where's Snog?
Okay.
I mean,
he pushes.
I get the feeling they're not asking me, so.
They kind of say it in a more of a general sense, but they did specifically say out of the way, elf. And
yeah, so Pyth's just gonna not escalate things and let somebody else answer.
Yeah, so Snog's not answering, by the way.
Snog is asleep.
Why do you guys want to know?
Or just not answering. They all kind of, Archer says this when they're all looking at each other. And one of them goes, do you remember the human in their group before? No. Does Axe Spider know? And then all of a sudden you hear, hey, I see a human! It's Gog.
Great.
And you see kind of this big, huge ogre hand stretch over the other orcs and points right at Archer.
Oh, awesome. Now Gog shows up. You guys can...
human, guys! I see him!
Yeah, and I taste delicious.
One of them says, shut up, Gog!
So, I'll ask it again. Why do you guys want Snog?
And at this point, you kind of got in front of them, and they're kind of looking at each other, and they're like, Axe Spider wants to see him.
He's busy.
He's very
Doing
busy.
what?
He's resting for our long journey ahead.
The other one goes, weren't you guys supposed to already be killing the dragon?
Do you think we can kill a dragon unrested?
Eh.
And roll persuasion
Oop.
Oh.
with advantage.
Heck yeah.
Stupid.
Shit.
Because they're dumb.
Uh-oh.
It's no better.
She got like an 8 and a 9.
I got an 8 and a 6. So
Oh,
that's
close
8.
enough.
God.
Persuasion?
Yeah.
Yes.
8.
Okay.
Oh.
Two of them kind of start scratching their heads, and the other one kind of goes, did Axe Spider give a time frame? The other
No.
goes, I don't know. You don't know what time it is. Like, shut up, idiot. You know what time it is. Look at the sky. Night time.
Oh my god.
And God goes, I like night time. It's time to sleep.
I've never seen a group of people more in need of education.
Why does Axe Spider want to see Snog?
Axe Spider wants to see Snog.
Wait.
Why does Axe Spider want to see Snog?
The other one
Oh
goes,
my god.
I don't know. He just told us go find out what they're doing.
We're trying to sleep.
and so the other one kind of goes,
Yeah, so wait, what are you doing?
We're resting before we go
We're trying to sleep.
fight a dragon.
and the third one kind of goes,
Does that make sense?
and the other one goes,
I guess.
the guy goes, I like naps.
Okay, look, here's what you gotta do. Go back to Axe Spider and tell him to sit on a very long stick, okay?
Do not tell him to do that. Tell him we're just resting before we go.
And you kind of catch Gog turn immediately around as he says that and takes a few steps and until Python says don't say that, and then he stops and turns back around.
And I elbow Archer.
I shrug.
Sorry, the
Yeah.
human is kind of stupid, if you know what I mean. He's not
And they
quite.
they all look at each other and start laughing, and then look back at you, and they all nod. And God goes, "Yeah, humans are what?"
Oh my
You know, they're not as good as you and I are.
Yeah, two of the orcs kind of nod, and they go, "Yeah, yeah." They smell too.
So look, he's all angry about nothing. But it's very simple. We're just resting before we go fight. You want the best results, you want the dragon dead. You have to let us work through this.
And they're like,
I guess so. Well, if you see Snog, tell him Axe Spider either says kill the dragon or don't come back. Or kill the dragon and come back if you kill the dragon.
Alright.
And then the other one's kind of like, no, that's not what he said. He said, don't come back unless you kill the dragon. And God goes, I like dragons. They can fly.
Tell Axe Spider we said hi.
They kind of look at each other, two of the other ones. They go, Axe Spider didn't say anything about saying hi. Did he say, were we supposed to say hi to them?
Okay, here, I'll word it different. Go away.
I thought Axe Spider told us to kill him.
Oh.
That's what I heard.
And God goes, I like killing things. Also naps.
How about you go take a nap then?
Okay. And he kind of just falls on the ground, and like there's like a visceral kind of thud, and everyone kind of jumps off just a few inches off the ground.
Wait. So you're
He's
here to kill
getting-
Snog.
And he's snoring. like loudly.
Oh, God.
The rest of the orcs kind of look back and then look back at you and goes, "What did you just do?"
I put him to sleep. Now go back to your cave.
One of them kicks God, and he just, ugh. Now it's good. Now we're gonna be stuck out here.
Well,
Goes, well, not my problem. And one of them walks off. The other three stay behind, and they're like, "Should we leave him here?" And then one goes, "Not my problem." And the second one leaves. And then there's two left, and they kind of both look at each other, and they start doing rock, paper, scissors.
I can keep an eye on him for you if you two would both like to go back.
So they stop their rock, paper, scissors games and kind of both look at you. And goes, "Okay, but when he wakes up, tell him he's got to go back home.
Okay.
Spider doesn't like it when Gog sleeps over at someone else's house."
Okay.
Like an overprotective
I
parent.
will make sure he knows.
Oh, and don't stand downwind, especially in the morning. You've been warned. And they both run in the opposite direction. At this point, you see the lumbering leftover body of the ogre. His belly kind of rumbles as he snores, like in waves.
I was gonna kind of just look back to the group and be like, we should move.
I feel
Yeah,
like I'm
somewhere
losing
else.
brain cells. I feel like I'm losing brain
Please.
cells.
You also see Gog, he's got his thumb in his mouth.
And for the record, Archer, if you ever plan to kill someone, you have to at least be as smart as them. Stop giving away your intentions before you get the chance.
I think she just called you as stupid as an orc.
I'm gonna walk up to her. I'm gonna look at the ogre on the ground. I'm gonna pull out my sword and I'm gonna stab the ogre in the neck.
No.
Oh,
Roll for an
for-
attack roll.
Natural 20!
Oh,
my God.
God.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
Dang.
He do be flexing.
Alright, roll for damage. And double.
When he's attacking the ogre.
That's
Yes.
that's
He's gonna
14
attack Gog?
No, that's
Yeah.
13 damage.
Why?
13 damage?
Yes.
Alright. So you immediately, the rest of you kind of watch Archer as he walks over to the ogre, whoops out one of his sword swords, and plants it square into his throat. The ogre immediately jumps up, grabs the side of his neck. It's kind of, you see kind of blood kind of trickle out in between his fingers. Ow! He immediately grabs his club and go ahead and roll initiative.
Great.
Oh,
Okay.
just Archer.
At this point, yeah, just Archer.
Oh, I was gonna say because Mahi would be up and fighting.
Or
Just
honestly,
go ahead
can-
and roll.
Yeah, can we
Anyone
all
who
just
wants to
roll?
join in the fight, go ahead and roll.
Just have all of
Okay.
us roll, and then if we don't want to do anything, just have us not do
We can
anything.
just waste our turn, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a 10.
Oh, that's 20.
Dang. It's a lot
And it
bigger
was-
than the 10.
And it was the new dice. Thank you, Alex. It worked out then. Finally. The first nat 20. And I'm not even going to use it.
Alright, give me a minute here. Okay. Alright, Tavith.
Yeah, I'm gonna just get a look at Archer and be like, sorry bro, I'm not jumping in
No,
on this
your
one.
your
Your
initiative.
initiative.
Oh,
Sorry.
oh, because I said that 20. I thought you were telling me I'm first. I'm
Okay,
like, all right, I'll go.
Nat 20,
Alright,
and
20.
then plus what?
Oh, yeah, 22.
You have a 22. Okay. Pythavan,
17.
Archer,
26.
Tor,
18.
Mahi,
10.
Snark. Okay. So yeah, it will be Tavi next.
Yeah. Like I was saying, this Archer's fight, he picked it. I'm not jumping in.
Okay. So Tavi kind of looks up and sees what Archer did, and kind of is like, yeah. And then it's your turn.
That's it.
All right, Tor, you're up.
Tor is up already?
Tor is up.
Yeah, Archer went first with his first attack. So.
Yeah, he's essentially
I am
already his own initiative.
gonna try to cast blindness on the ogre.
Okay.
It's a Constitution saving throw.
All right, that is a 16.
That passes.
Okay. All right, so Tor reaches out her staff, and this dark cloud shoots out and swirls around the ogre. The ogre kind of, as he's waving and holding his neck around, he waves the club in his face. And, it doesn't seem to have any effect, but he's a little mad. He's really not necessarily paying attention to what you just did to him. All right. Anything else?
I can't really do anything else, so I'm not going to.
Pythavan.
I'm going to just. You impulsive piece of. And I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions in a 20-foot radius.
Okay. So this will affect everybody?
Oh,
We
yeah.
all gotta roll.
Yeah. I think everyone-
What am I rolling?
Yeah, 20-foot radius sphere. It's a DC 12 charisma save.
Each humanoid. Now, actually, I don't know if this would affect the ogre.
I think the ogre's still.
Get a clarification on humanoid. I guess it'd be any type of, not a human specifically, but
Anything that has some intelligence,
yeah.
walks on two legs, and
Are
No.
ogres considered? Yeah, there we go. Someone's already asked this question. Yeah, brutish race of humanoids. Okay, all right. So yes, it does affect the ogres and orcs. All
Okay,
right.
what's the DC?
12.
Okay, I pass.
dang it, got an 11.
Well, you're chill.
You just
Dang
fight
it.
him.
I didn't want to be chill.
Okay.
Yeah, I had 11 also, but I was already chilling.
Fails.
You can also choose to fail, once
Yeah.
again.
He had a 13, but he's a -2, so
Oh!
that's also an 11.
3 11s.
I got a 14.
Oof.
Oh, Archer passes.
So I'm just going to. Wait,
So,
so.
everyone failed, with the exception of Archer.
And me.
Oh, and Tor. Okay.
Yep.
All
But
right.
I'm not that hyped, so.
So I'm going to cast the spell and then look at the ogre and be like, sorry, he tripped. He didn't mean to hurt you.
Okay.
I mean, he should be calm now.
Yeah. I mean, you can make a target indifferent about creatures of your choice. So basically, that's what you're doing.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm adding this tack on. He didn't mean to. It was an accident. It's fine.
All right. So basically, as you cast this kind of a light pinkish aura around the surrounding area, and everybody else kind of gets hit, it takes a little bit of a step back and a little woozy, including the ogre. Tor doesn't seem like it passes through, and you're kind of looking around, going, "What just happened?" And Archer doesn't even seem phased at all. He's still battle ready in front of the ogre with a sword drawn. The ogre kind of looks at Pyth and blinks a little bit. And you say what you say, and he kind of nods at you, and he smiles, and he's still holding his neck, and he's kind of bleeding, but he's like smiling, it's like, okay.
How about you just go back?
You're nice.
Thank you. You know what you should go on a
And
walk.
he's nice.
Yes, he is,
And
isn't
all
he?
of you are nice.
We sure are, aren't we?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Why am I bleeding? Owie. How long does this last? For a minute?
Good question.
That's 10 rounds. If it's a minute.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's up to 1 minute.
Okay.
Or until he takes damage.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
I'm just going to continue looking at Archer. And that's it. That's my turn.
Okay. Mahi's turn.
Well, I'm calm now. He's just gonna stand there.
He's like,
The sword. He's not smiling, but you can tell he's chill.
Why did I even get my sword out?
Well, Mahi already was like got his sword out when all this started. Like he was already battle ready, and plus he sleeps with his sword in his hand. Like he's always ready to get up and swing. He's just standing there, kind of chill, just kind of shaking his head like, I cannot believe all this is happening. I'm chill. That's it.
All right. It's now Snog's turn. Basically, none of the rest of you have actually seen. He's kind of off to the side. He has not stirred. He's still kind of facing with his back turned away from all of this aggression, and you just hear snoring, and every so often it goes, "Take stuff, leave stuff." Oh. The end of his turn.
Well,
It's now Gog's turn. So Gog kind of, as he's kind of almost looking around in the sky, and he's kind of swaying a little bit back and forth, and at which point he kind of uses his movement to kind of just back up about 5 feet and then plops onto the ground with his butt. And he's got his great club in his hand, and he's kind of twirling it around, going, "And my club is nice. It's Mistress Pointy Stick." And he pets the top of it, and of course you can see like spikes and nails and everything protruding out from the club.
Oh.
And that's the end of his turn. Alright, it is now Archer at the top of the round.
Gonna look at Pyth,
Do not start a fight.
and I'm gonna sheath my sword.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at the ogre. Yeah, sorry, buddy. It was an accident. I tripped.
The ogre kind of nods at you and goes, "I like you. We smell funny."
But then I'm going to walk up to Pythavan. We kill the drow by tomorrow night, or I kill this entire tribe of orcs and axebiter.
I don't care what you do with the orcs, but don't get in the way of our plans. by
Oh, our
making
plan.
impulsive and stupid decisions.
Our plans.
If you
Those
don't
are
want
our
to be
plans
here,
now.
then you can leave. But I have things I'm trying to do. I'm trying to
like
save
what?
Gundren. I'm trying to find this stupid map before people who are clearly out to get us can use it.
Oh, okay. So you're telling me you care about people? Oh, okay.
I
I'm
was
sorry,
under the
this is new
impression that you
information
did
to
as
me.
well.
I do. Orcs aren't
Then
people.
show it. Stop letting your hatred get in the way of your drive to help people.
I'm sorry, I don't think you were there when my family was being burned by orcs and goblins. I don't think you were there when I was tied to a post while orcs were scourging my back. I don't think you were there when they beheaded the nobleman's son and gave me the head to take back to my general. I don't think you were there for any of that. So I don't think you quite understand how I feel about these orcs.
You're right. I wasn't there. And frankly, I don't care how you feel. We have a mission, and your hatred is getting in the way. So bottle it up and put it away. The spell's only going to last a minute before he's pissed at you again. So let's pack
I
up
like
and let's
orcs.
go.
Fine.
I like orcs.
That's nice.
I like you.
Thank you.
I'm going to start silently packing up my stuff, like rolling my bedroll back up, putting it in the bag, not looking at Archer, not looking at Pi.
So it's technically Tavi's turn.
Whoa, guys. This feels nice.
Is also under calm emotions.
Can it be like this forever?
No.
So what are we doing?
Packing up.
Pack-
He starts
Okay.
packing up.
Tavi's calmly, slowly packs up his bedroll.
Like
And just-
Flash off of
And he's
Zootopia.
just like caressing the bedroll as he's like, oh, this feels really peaceful. And then he's done. And he's just standing like in line waiting to go. Turn over.
Alright. It's now Tor's turn.
Silently packing up my stuff, not looking at Pi, not looking at Archer. Just packing my stuff up, mind my own business for once.
Tor keeping her mouth shut for once.
I see nothing, I'm saying nothing.
I am looking away. I do not see.
I'm just gonna, like, as soon as I get my bag on my shoulder, I'm gonna, like, start walking down the hill away. Just down.
Alright. Pythavid's turn.
I'm going to kind of give one last look to Archer and then just follow Tor, because I don't really have anything set up.
Oh, somebody wake up Snog.
It's now Mahi's turn.
As Mahi's packing his things, he feels so calm. Just like starts speaking in Celestial. I'm sorry I yelled at you. And he's just gonna pack the rest of his stuff.
This is as calm as you probably have
Ever
felt.
been.
Well, I wouldn't say ever, but yeah, in a while, especially during this game.
Yeah, the only other time he's been this calm is when she cast it in the bar. But you better believe, once this is over, he's gonna get ticked. Eats the spell. This concludes my. And
Stay
well,
mad. I was mad.
after I pack my stuff and say my little prayer, I'm going to start walking with them wherever they walk to down the hill.
Okay. It's now Snog's turn. You all kind of basically hear just a little kind of grunt. And then you hear, well, hello, Mrs. Drow. And that's the end of his turn.
Dang. This man's a deep sleeper.
And, yeah, I know, right? Alright, Gog's turn. So, he's still sitting on the ground and staring at his mace and kind of swinging at imaginary butterflies. Not aggressively, but just kind of like, almost like he's trying to catch them with his mace. It's like, I almost got you! And I'm gonna get you! Wait, what was I doing? And that's the end of his turn. He's still sitting. He's prone at this point. Alright, top of the round, back with Archer. Assume since hostilities, the only source of hostility was from Archer, and he's sheathed his sword. I'm going to assume that we are out of initiative at this point.
Correct.
See.
So Pyth will go ahead and just kind of go over and like nudge Snog with her foot as she goes by. Wake up, we're leaving.
Yeah, I'm just going wherever everyone's going.
I'm down there.
Taurus minded her business.
Alright, I need everybody to roll perception, and for those that don't have dark vision, all at disadvantages.
Oh my god.
Hey, that was pretty much the same. So, if
Well, that was a natural 20. That was another natural 20!
Hey!
perception, a 15.
Yeah,
and
I had a nat
15
20,
is not
but then I
gonna
got
work. 16 probably wasn't going to either, so it's fine.
Natural
Somehow,
one.
Mahi has dark vision now. Dang.
So yeah, mine was 12.
I got a 13.
I did have I had a nat 20, but then it became 12.
Now you got a natural 1, Archer.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's going to...
It's
Even with my 2 natural 20s?
I'm trying to look at it from a few different angles, but it's looking like a 1 no matter how I look at it.
Yeah.
It's not looking good, boys.
One time I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, I mean, we got a natural 20 on one side and nat 1 on the other, so kind of boop.
10.
I'm just gonna assume that, yeah, your feet, I don't think you could just be surprised at all, even if you fail. Because that would kind of defeat the purpose of it. So, I'm gonna let that go. Alright, Mahi, as you look down the road, we're in the opposite direction away from the cave. You do immediately spy... I mean, your vision kind of almost, you kind of take a little peek at the stars again, and kind of looking at, and kind of reflecting on your prayer from earlier. But as you kind of lower your vision down to the horizon, coming from the north, you're seeing a ton of torchlights. Like, we're talking probably 20 or 30.
Am I still under calm emotions, or is it past by now?
No, I'll say for this purpose, that because this is immediately after, this will be the third round, so yeah, you guys are all still pretty high.
Hey guys, I see torches in the distance, quite a few of them. A lot of them.
I whisper like 43 different orc curses.
No, wait, is this the direction we're going or like towards the mountains?
No, this is the opposite direction of the mountains.
Ah, so the way we're going. Fantastic.
Basically.
I point towards where we're going, like,
We're headed straight towards it, actually.
We will. Weewo.
I throw my hands up.
All right. In the background, you hear kind of Gog. He's clapping his hands. It's like, oh, look, a party! A party!
Dear God.
You see about 20 or so orcs and goblins and a few ogres.
We found them.
And you see a cloaked humanoid figure
Oh,
on a dark horse leading the
I
pack.
wonder who it could be. Okay.
So, I say,
And I kind of point off in the, like, just to the right or to the left. It doesn't really matter.
we get off the trail and avoid being seen.
this is like the one result that Pyth knows for a fact that the divines were not in their favor with. So she's like, yeah, we need to move and we need to get somewhere we won't be seen.
Relatively quickly.
So at this
Are
point,
we
these
near any-
figures are in view. You
Are we-
have 5 seconds.
Fog cloud.
Are we near any light?
The campfire, yes.
We've made our way off from that.
This is the direction. Well, you haven't left yet. You guys just came out of fighting around it.
Oh, I left like a round ago. I'm at least 30 feet away from the fire.
Okay.
Because my first move is to get away from the fire because I'm invisible.
Yeah, he's invisible in the dark.
And Ken's about to draw a fog cloud because that's signature Pyth move.
Signature pipe. Fog cloud. Poof. Smoke bomb.
The only problem is it is going to be a very obvious smoke cloud in the middle of nowhere, so I might actually not do that if we can hide somehow. That's gonna.
We're all jumping off the road, I think.
We are yeeting ourselves out of this situation.
Stop,
Yes.
drop, and roll. Gets on ground,
I'm
rolls
running
off
towards
into the
wherever-
distance.
Wherever Tor is, I'm running.
Why would you choose me as the point of safety reference?
I don't know. I feel like you're like a neutral thing here. They won't want to kill you.
Okay, so our plan is to get off the road?
Can I,
There
like,
isn't a road. It's an open field.
yeah.
But as you guys
Just
start
out
to
of their
scatter,
path.
you realize that this is kind of a large line. And so as you
More
Dude,
orc
you're-
curses.
30 feet away from the time that you have when Machi kind of points this out. And remember, the rest, well, with the exception of Tor and Archer, the rest of you are kind of like super high. So you're not really necessarily
Feeling the urgency.
feeling the danger.
Yeah, there's no dodge. There's no dashing. We're just taking our 30 feet.
Right.
I mean, we can still dash, but it's gonna be like a frolicking dash. Like,
The thing is, you
Let's go.
feel no urgency about it. You are just super calm. That's the problem.
Yeah, you're basically you got your stuff packed and you're kind of putting everything in
All
your,
nonchalant and
your
everything.
pack.
Like in the back of your mind, you know that this is bad, but the front of your mind's like, hey.
It's fine.
Winging
Everything's
it over
fine.
your shoulder and tipping your hat to the rest of the crew and waving at Gog and waving at the torches that are now in plain sight. The flanks from the left and the right are starting to encompass around this area at this point.
Oh, it's a line like that.
Yes, so they are starting to curve around, and as the other orcs get into position, as you walk towards them, you kind of run into a side-by-side line of orcs on your left. For those that ran the other direction, you are also coming into a line of orcs on that point. They also have dark vision, so they don't need the campfire to see you. Archer technically
They
is
can't. Yeah, awesome. Great.
so Archer, and to the rest of you, you don't know where Archer went. For the rest of you, Gog is clapping his hands, and he's kind of waving at the other orcs, and then the cloaked figure now approaches from the center.
So we have at this point been very much noticed, or
Yeah, you not only noticed, they went towards
We're
you
surrounded.
specifically,
Yeah.
and you're surrounded. The cloaked figure descends off of her horse. The horse
Her.
kicks up a little bit of the dirt. It approaches.
Archer holding still.
Great
This
We're
sounds
all
like a very
high.
long encounter.
I don't think we can fight this, honestly. We're getting captured.
I love the fact that our first impressions are half of us are high.
One of us isn't there. He's invisible. The other, like, 2 out of the other 2 are high, and the
I'll-
casters are like, oof.
Yeah, I'll say yeah, because I'll tell you guys when it will probably wear off in the middle of this conversation. This will be fun. Just remember, when it wears off, the
That
hostiles go
It's-
back to hostile again.
he's gonna be real mad at us, guys. We're gonna...
Oh god.
So, the cloaked figure, and I'll let you guys decide who is the closest to the middle of this group. The rest of you ran into their flanks, and so you kind of stopped in your tracks.
I mean, Pike's
Nice.
still like by the fire, so
Honestly, Pine is
I ran
probably the
forward.
central figure. Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably the center.
Yeah.
I ran forward first.
Alrighty. So, Pyth, now you are not familiar with this figure, but as the figure approaches, she
Drow Lady can figure it out.
and yeah, you see very white, shimmering hair, long locks that flow out from the hood as it spills out. She approaches, and she kind of looks at you and smiles, and goes, "Well, well, well. I found you."
I'm gonna throw up. No.
And we end there.
Ah,
Yeah,
Oh,
I would say so.
Technically, I could go a little bit further if you guys wanted to go into anything, but if you
No,
wanted
no,
to,
let's
that's
end right there. Come
probably
back.
a perfect
Half of us
stopping point.
high.
Yeah.
at this point, guys, it is. I mean, not that it's not been in your hands, but I'm gonna. This whole night was totally your roles, but yeah, you're gonna figure out of this situation at this point.
Oop.
I don't think we are.
I told you.
No, you didn't. You told us nothing.
I said go to the mountains. Let's go to the mountains.
Oh,
That
yeah,
would've
we
been
would have still died there.
No,
Would've
maybe
died
Vigo would have showed up with some coats.
I got that.
oh my god.
You never know.
He goes not.
Also, to clarify here, real quick, that there's no surprise here because this is clearly. I mean, you know,
We see this happening, and we're just the dawning anxiety.
yeah. So and of course Archer can't be surprised, even though he's like totally not paying attention. But by the time this happens, and he's stepped himself into the shadows, so he's obscured. But for the rest of you, including Snog and Gog, yeah, they pretty much everyone has an eyeballs on you from somewhere along the line. And yeah, you're seeing orcs, ogres, goblins mixed in there. More orcs and ogres than goblins. Only a few of the goblins are with her. But yeah, we'll have to see where this goes.
Better hope
Oh,
Deets is
boy.
with him.
And if there wasn't this ogre fight, it probably was going to be a surprise. But
Oh yes.
Oh, because we were already awake doing stupid things.
exactly, you kind of you get to see this happen to you instead of getting
Would have
surprised. by it.
happened your
I
way.
don't know which is worse, to be honest.
Honestly, it's just gonna have to be like, Archer, stay invisible. Try to come help us. Or just, go back to the woods. At this point, it's in your hand.
Yeah. Archer, I think I'm gonna go back to the woods.
Archer.
Tyke and Tor trying to talk their way out of this one, while Mahi and Tavi stand there like vibing.
Yeah, like,
Absolutely
hey.
Archer panicking, trying to figure out how to fix this. Like, oh man, tackles the drow lady.
You're the hot drow lady they were talking about.